The thing that struck me about your character is it's very rare we see a female police captain on the big screen. Is this something that drew you to the character?
Oh, yeah. 100%. I was like, wait, I get to be in charge? I don't have to ask permission from someone? I get to give orders? Hell yes, I'm in. 100%. Absolutely drew me to it. Loved it.
And how do you get into the mindset of a character who, as you said, like all she does is blast out orders? She's great.
Absolutely. I had to think about, in real life, what position would that put her in? How would she have to win the respect of this unit full of testosterone to the point where they will respect her and obey her? You know?
Yeah.
So I had to build that sort of from the ground up of how would that work to where now we see her and she's at the end of that journey and is able to just do the job. So a lot of that went into crafting the character, which made me so happy to do and excited to portray. And, you know, to everyone else's credit, they let me do it. So it was great. Mm-hmm.
You have some great scenes with Chris Rock. What is the atmosphere like on set when he's there? And your scenes are quite intense as well. You guys argue a lot.
I know we do, right? Kind of butt heads a lot. But I also kind of find that, like, when you have a really good friendship with someone, like in real life, you have a really good rapport, you can butt heads, and then the next day, you know, that night you're going out for a beer or whatever. And I kind of think that that's their relationship. You know, they're used to arguing, but there's still a mutual respect there to a degree. The atmosphere on set was a lot of fun. Like, it'd be really fun. We'd be screaming at each other and fighting, and then cut, and like, oh, did I tell you this one thing that happened? And blah, 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 blah. So, you know, he's a great guy. He's really smart. He's really funny. And he was really, really, really fun to work with. And I had a lot of laughs.
Yeah, that comes across for sure. Yeah, Saw is so famous for the traps. Like, what was it like being on set and seeing the traps in person?
It was like, I think my reaction all the time was like, God, that's sick. Just sick. But really cool because the traps are characters in themselves. So to kind of be you know, I'm like, oh, how does that one work? Well, how does that one work? You know, it's hard not to be a fan of that in itself, let alone to be able to be around it. It was just really, really cool.
Yeah. And do you have a personal favorite trap?
You know, out of all of them, probably the one that hits me the most, which is kind of silly, but you know the Frozen trap where she's like freezing?
Yeah.
I'm always cold. Always. And like, I grew up into Chicago, which is really, really cold. And that's horrifying to me. So even though there's no blood in that one necessarily, I feel that one viscerally. I'm like, oh. So I would say that one.
Yeah. And what was your reaction when they rang you and said, hey, do you want to be in a Saw movie?
It was more like, do you want to be in a Saw movie that Chris Rock is executive producing and you're going to play the captain of the police force? And it was like, do you even have to ask?
And of course you get to work with the legend that is Samuel Jackson as well. Like, that must be amazing.
That was insane. I first got the script and I just flipped through it. It was like, are there any scenes with me and Mr. Jackson? That's what I wanted to know. It was an honor to work with him. I mean, it was one of those moments in your career where you're just like, wow, so cool.
Yeah.